The Thing in the Basement by Michaela Morgan. First published 2006 by A&C Black Publishers Limited. Chapter 3. Scott crept into the classroom. "Sorry I'm late," he muttered. But Miss Archer was busy opening windows. She just waved at him to sit down at the front table. "Don't worry, I'll sort you out in a minute," she said. On Scott's table there was a red-haired boy and two girls. The boy smiled and whispered his name. "I'm Damon," he said. The two girls just nodded and got on with their work. The classroom was very quiet. The only sound was a strange, distant gurgling and glugging, and it was so hot. Everyone had taken off their jumpers. Some were trying to fan themselves with exercise books, but no one was complaining. It was so hot that Scott could hardly breathe. He looked around. Why wasn't anybody saying anything, he wondered. Why was everybody just getting on with their work as if it was normal to be boiled alive in a classroom? And what was that noise? The gurgling and glugging seemed to be getting louder and louder, and closer and closer. Scott couldn't stand it any longer. He had a terrible feeling that something awful was going to happen. Shyly, he put up his hand. "Please, miss," he said, "it's boiling hot, and there's a strange noise." "Oh, that," said Mrs. Archer. "It's just Stovey up to his tricks again. We'll have to get Mr. Crawley to sort it out. He's the only one who can control the beast." "Shall I go to the basement and find him?" said Damon, the red-haired boy. "No," snapped the teacher. "I've told you before, no one is ever to go to the basement. Ever. It's very dangerous. Is that clear?" Everyone nodded. Someone sighed. Mrs. Archer opened another window. And then a strange man came into the room. The man was enormously tall and very, very hairy. He had a thick beard, long red hair, and bushy eyebrows. He was the hairiest man Scott had ever seen. There was even hair sprouting out of his ears and nose. But the strangest thing was that he was covered in black streaks and soot. His hands and fingernails were dirty, and a smell of burning surrounded him. "Is that the Dragon Keeper?" Scott wondered. "Who's that?" whispered Scott. "That's Creepy Crawley," said Damon. "He's the one who looks after Stovey. Don't get on the wrong side of him." Mr. Crawley spoke to Mrs. Archer. "I'm sorry," he said. "The beast isn't behaving today. I may have overfed it. We're all going to roast." Soon it was playtime. Scott didn't like the idea of going into the playground with a lot of children he had never met before, and he couldn't stop thinking about the thing in the basement. It was all so strange. He was beginning to think he had imagined it. He took a deep breath and decided he would try to find those steps. He would try to find the dragon.